All right, so I'm looking at boxing. Super welterweight, middleweight, 154. I see Jamel Charlo, Brian Mendoza, WBC. Now I'm looking down and I see Errol Spence at number 3. What the fuck is going on here? Okay. All right, so Jamel Charlo, of course, he's undisputed at this weight division. We got Tim Tszyu. We got Josh Kelly underneath. But let's talk about it. Because I see some blocking the bag going on here, and I see some chess moves going on here. Yeah. All right, let's chop it up. All right, let's talk about blocking the bag for Terence Crawford. And you know what? Before we do this, let me just go into this commercial break real quick to remind certain people for us to fucking move on. Okay? Here we go.
We know. I know everything. I don't know nothing. I'm trying to find out what I know. Enlighten me.
What you mean enlighten me? You for Ebenezer and you could for me.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go fight in the IBF. So what I know?
What you mean?
What you mean? What I mean? Would you rank that in the WBA or not?
Yo, it don't even matter. Yo,
all right, catch up, little homie. Catch up, man. If it don't matter, catch up.
Yo, you picked Ebenezer.
Catch up.
Ebenezer was way under.
You just said it don't matter. Catch up. I'm talking about before that.
He not about it. We already know he's not about what he's talking about.
I'm not about what? I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep. Go to sleep. You dream.
So can we please move on? Because this is what Crawford said. You was in the WBO sanction body and you skipped and you scrammed to the IBF. You had your chance. Then you also had your chance when Blue Bud was trying to set up this thing with Black Prime, and Crawford said, well, who should I fight? And you was the number 1 pick. And Boots Ennis, your father, said, what did he say? Well, we'll see what Showtime going to do. Showtime decided they didn't want to do a co-promotion with Black Prime. As we know, there's only one promotion company wants to be the big honcho, okay? So that's 2 times. So I'm tired. And we don't even know, what's Boots Ennis? Is Ennis really signed to Showtime? Or is that a promise or something? I don't know what's going on with that shit, man. But your father's saying one thing and you saying another, man. But I'm just saying, you had 2 chances, not just once, 2. You choose to go to the WBC because you know what was Showtime or whatever, all right? That's your choice. But you had the option. You had the WBO to go up or down. You had the belt to fight Crawford. You didn't put that work in. You didn't put that mandatory in. You didn't put that petition in. Whatever you want to call it. So these fucking fans, can we move the fuck on? Every time I hear, I want Boots. Listen, Boots is ready to fight Crawford. Okay? He's 30-something fights in. He is ready. But you have to understand, it's not what Boots wants, it's what Crawford wants. He's 2-time undisputed. He just beat Errol Spence. He said, I want big fights, I want legacy, or the bag, or both. This is what this man wants. He put the work in. This nigga didn't put the work in. But he's there on the rankings. Yeah, he's ready to fight. Listen, if Crawford said, I want to fight Boots, yo, I'm all for it. I'm not against it. I want it too. I want to see that fight too. But it's what Crawford wants right now. And Crawford said, little man, you had your chance. And you didn't disrupt the chance. You didn't say, you didn't have all that right there. Then, hey, you was first pickings before David Avenesian. Right? You was first pickings. And Showtime didn't want to do nothing with Black Prime. So skip to your loo with that shit, man. Skip to your loo, man. We don't want to hear that shit no more. That's all fucking lame news. You have nothing to offer him. Because this is what he wants to be offered to Crawford. Crawford wants legacy fight, big money fights, or both. He told that boy, Tank, I will stay at 147 for you. What is Tank doing? Nothing. He told Canelo. First he said it was weight classes. Now he changed his mind. He said, you know what, Canelo's not that big. Right? You know, I'll do the impossible and move up 3 divisions, and I'll fight him because I want the bag and I want legacy. I want to be 3-time undisputed. So the winner of Charlo and fucking Canelo, I'm going to go up 3 weight classes and do it because we know Charlo ain't going back down to 154. If he beats Canelo, he's not going back down. Okay? We know that. He ain't going back down. Right? The odds of that happening, fine. But if he does it and he's a man of his word to go down, hey, I applaud Charlo to go back down. Right? And that's why I'm so glad that Crawford's keeping his belts right now at 147. Right? To keep that option, right? Especially the WBO, to go up and go down, right? So let's just move on with Boots, man. And let's look at what's going on in the rankings and how suspicious this shit is. Because I'm seeing 3rd in the WBC. I'm seeing Spence at the 3rd. I'm like, what the fuck? But then we always know it's a brown envelope going under the table. I don't get it. That's the only sanctioned body. Now, before I get into Tszyu and Errol Spence and Crawford and all that situation, I want to say something out here. I need some hardcore boxing analysts to break it down for me because I'm always learning. And right now we have a learning session with Tszyu and the moves he's making, right? And I'm trying to learn this too, but we're not going to get into that. What I want to know is this. Time is almost up. Time is almost up with Errol Spence and what he's going to do with this rematch clause. Okay, I think it's this week or next week. He's got to come up, and I don't know if they're going to give him an extension. I don't know if that's in the contract. And another thing I need to know about the contract, come on, boxing hardcore that don't know, that never wrong. I'm going to ask you a question. Now, Al Heyman didn't want this fight. No. Al Heyman wanted Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman. Keep it in-house, right? So, I'm saying there was a tweet one time where Errol said, I feel I'm getting played, right? But then after that, I noticed that Errol took action and got a manager company. Can somebody ask me what the manager company has to do of this fight with Crawford and Errol Spence? Why did he have to get a management company? I mean, Al is an advisor. That's all he is. Al works for Errol Spence. But for some reason, advisor and the boxer are not agreeing on fighting Crawford. So I'm asking you, is the management company swooped in, made an agreement with Showtime, right? Blah, blah, blah. This one get this one get that. There's a rematch clause, right? So I'm trying to figure out, do Al Heyman, because I hear people say, oh, Crawford, he signed to PBC with a 2-fight deal. A fight with Errol and a rematch. But I'm saying, if that's so, is it with Al Heyman and PBC, or is it with, the agreements with Showtime? I'm lost here. I'm really lost here, and I'm trying to figure this out. So I'm saying the management company that Spence swooped in to help make this fight happen. I'm pretty sure this is the reason why the management company came in at the time that this fight was supposed to happen, right? Because Al Heyman didn't want the fight. Maybe I'm wrong. Please write in the comment, I'm wrong. Say it. I know you want to say I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not here to say I'm right. I'm asking questions from people out there that know better than me. Right? So, I'm saying, if the management company made the agreement between Errol and Crawford, where are we going with this? Because the way I see it, like I said in my last video, I'm getting very suspicious of the movements of PBC, because I know PBC don't want nothing to do with Crawford, right? And they've been said that in a long time with Tim Smith and whatever his name is. We can't afford Crawford and all these blockage and barricades and all this shit to jump over. So I'm trying to understand this now. I'm seeing some crazy shit going on in the rankings where Errol is 3rd in 154 division. Then I see Tszyu, right? He is the regular in the WBO. Once Charlo fights Canelo, he loses position at the WBO. Come work with me. I'm trying to understand this. He's the WBO champion. He's undisputed at 154. But once he fight Canelo, he loses the WBO belt, and the Reggie belt is gone. And Tim Tszyu turns up to be the WBO champion, which Charlo used to be. Am I correct? Yeah. So now I'm seeing that Tim Tszyu is going the WBC route, and I'm hearing that he wants to fight Mendoza, the regular champion, under Jermell Charlo in the WBC. And then I'm looking down and I'm seeing Errol Spence. So I'm saying they are blackballing. Is PBC still blackballing Terence Crawford? Because I remember the company that came in, Errol Spence company, manager company, came in out of nowhere, and then we got this fight. So somebody out there asks, can you answer this question? Is Crawford contracted to the PBC, or he's contracted with Errol Spence manager company, right? And time is almost up. So if Errol Spence doesn't take this rematch, where do it go? Because in my last video, I was saying, this is what the PBC wants. This is what Al Heyman's going to say. I told you so. You should have never took that fight. And I'm going to give you some options here under the PBC in-house. And I just feel like there's a lot of blockage going on from Crawford being undisputed 3 times and getting the bag. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing, maybe I'm, in the twilight zone, or I'm seeing things, or I'm paranoid. I'm fucking paranoid. Because how the hell you have number 3, Errol Spence, at 154? Answer me that. How the hell is Tim Tszyu, the regular champion at WBO, right? And he have his eye on the regular champion, Mendoza, right? That's under Jermell Charlo. But you're going to be the original champion at WBO. So you're going to have you're going to be a super champion, WBO champion, and you're going to be a Reggie champion in the WBC. So now I thought you could unify 2 major belts, not a Reggie and a super belt. I mean, I'm getting fucking confused here. But when confusion starts, there's bitching, and there's a lot of bullshit in the mix. So when the confusion start like this, I know something's up. And Errol, I don't know what's taking you so long. And the way I see it, I feel like in my last video I was saying, listen, here situation. But now I'm seeing Tim Tszyu getting lined up to fight Errol Spence. So is it Errol Spence fighting Tim Tszyu next at 154 instead of Crawford? I don't know. Is it going to be Crawford going to be blackballed? He can't fight Canelo or Charlo? Explain this to me, because remember, Canelo has a 3-fight deal, and I remember in that 3-fight deal back then, it was an article saying you could get Errol Spence, you could get Charlo, and you could get I don't know, whoever it is, Benavidez, or whoever the hell it was. You could get, it's your choice, or a rematch for the 3-fight deal. So I'm just saying, maybe it's a rematch with Charlo. If Charlo loses, there's a rematch. If Charlo wins, there's a rematch, right? So time is a wasting. So if it's a rematch, is it in September? I mean, not September, because the fight happens in September. Is the fight gonna happen Cinco de Mayo? Because that's the only time that rematch could happen with Canelo, right? So if that's the case, you're telling me, well, in September, Crawford's going to be coming 36 years old. So the first half of 2024, you got Canelo fighting Charlo, or whatever, if it's a rematch, Cinco de Mayo. So you're telling me the second half of 2024, the second quarter of 2024, that's when Crawford becomes 37, right? So in my eyes, bro, and I see Tim Tszyu, I'm kind of suspect with Tim Tszyu now, because the way I see it, I see he's trying to skip and scram over there to the WBC? Because I don't think Crawford wants to fight Tim Tszyu, right? I don't think, because it's not, but to me, it is a legacy. I mean, it's part of legacy, because listen, if you beat Tim Tszyu, right, that will make you a 4-division champion, right? Then you have the WBO belt, right? And you have that belt. Just like you was telling Boots, you left that WBO to go to IBF. Yes, it's not a big bag, but it could get you to the bag at 168, just in case one of these two fools want to play these games and don't want to fight you. It'll put you in the position at 168. The 154 belt, who's this calling me? I can't now. I can't. You know what? I got to take this call. No, hold on. Yeah, I had to take that call. I was family. So I had to take that call. But like I said, the WBO at 154 could get you to the bag and legacy. You see what I'm saying? The bag and legacy. And that's what you want. Big fights, and that gives you big money. This is what Crawford wants. And legacy. So I'm saying, if Charlo and Canelo fights and there's a rematch clause between both of them, right? Time is a wasting. Time is a wasting. In September, when that fight happens, that's when you turn 36. The rematch is going to have to happen in Cinco de Mayo. That's the second quarter of the year, right? That's the first quarter of the year. So time is a wasting. We don't know if Tim Tszyu this year is going to fight Mendoza for the Reggie belt, and at the same time have the WBL, not the regular belt no more, but the champion belt, right? The real belt, right? So he's going to hold on to the real belt and the Reggie belt. And I guess when Crawford decides, because I don't even think he wants to fight Tim Tszyu, but if that happens, Tim Tszyu could duck his ass and go over there with the Reggie belt and stay over there and fight Errol Spence. I'm seeing a lot of blocking legacy, and I'm seeing a lot of blocking the bag. And that's why I say in the beginning of my video, was this promotional, this manager company at Errol Spence, was everything going with them, with Showtime, or was it with PBC? Okay? Because the way I see it, PBC, nigga said right, is blocking Terence Crawford from the bag and greatness. And that's the way I see it right now when it comes to Al Heyman. You got Boots. Thurman don't want to fight Boots. You should be on Thurman's ass about not fighting Boots. That's a great fight. In the meantime, right now, Boots don't got nothing for Crawford. And when I mean that, I really don't care about the money. But if this man said, I want champion fights, that's what it is. Now, the man, Crawford, saying he wants big money, I do not see him going backwards, especially somebody that don't have a belt. And as you go forward with Tim Tszyu, I think he said he's still, see, the truth is in the pudding, because he's saying, I don't want to fight Tim Tszyu. What does he have to offer? Well, he do have a belt to offer to you when he becomes the WBO champion. He has a belt to offer. But is it big money? No. Well, you can't get both. And in order for you to get both, your chess move might have to be, since you got that 147, that's why I said keep your belts, especially that WBO belt, you could automatically and move up and fight Tim Tszyu. Now, if Tim Tszyu decides to skip to his loo and go this way, well, you got the answers right there that he's ducking you. And this is why he might be doing this move right now in action to fight Mendoza for the regular belt at the WBC. Yeah, so I'm seeing some movements, and I'm seeing time is a wasted. Now, I can see the illusion. I can see Errol Spence coming out at the last minute saying, we got a rematch, right? But this is an illusion, because you have to wait this long to get this rematch happening. Then I can see illusion in the middle of the year, or sometime at the end of the month. Disregard it. We're not going to do the rematch. So it's so many games to play, right? I'm pretty sure he's going to come out and say, we got a rematch. But I know that Al Heyman said, listen, I'm going to hook you up with a bag, yo. And then if you don't want this boxing no more, like I said, I don't tell another man when to retire. I ain't gonna tell another man to retire. I never tell Manny Pacquiao it's time to retire. That's foolish and that's punk ass talk. I hear people saying, Errol Spence, you should retire and shit like that. And just like Errol Spence said, man, y'all must be was running home after school from the bullies or whatever. Listen, man, I ain't got time for that, man. These are fighters. Fighters are not scared to fight. What fighters are scared of is losing their status. And what the promotion companies are scared of them losing their status because they see money. That's it. But if you put two fighters in the street, they're going to fight. It is what it is. That's what it is. It's the status. It's the zero. It's being on top. That's it. But these fighters, man on man, they're going to fight, man. That's what it is, man. But I'm seeing a lot of blockage going on. I'm seeing chess moves to block Crawford from being undisputed 3 times and also getting the bag. Okay? Because the way I see it, you got Jamel and Canelo. They have the PBC. You got Tank. Tank don't want to move up, even though he said he could test that chin. He could vibrate that chin. All that bullshit talk. But you ain't making no action to move up. And I also hear, and to tell you the truth, I don't think Canelo will fight Charlo. I don't think Canelo will fight Bud. All right, I already could see it, man. He know that fight ain't. If it is, when you beat Charlo, make sure, and that's why I say, Bud, please go old school and call these niggas out, man. You call Canelo. He said he's the Cabrón, whatever. Yo, call him out. Call Tank out numerous times. Say, yo, man, I'm here at 147 waiting for you, man. Are you coming up? Yeah. Come up, man. Since you got a lot of mouth, come up. Keep saying that shit, right? You want the big fights, right? Right? Because time isn't wasting. 36, next year 37. So what are we talking about? We talking about 38, the year that you're going to become 38 to get a big fight? If I was Crawford, the way I feel, I'll say like, all right, I'm keeping my 147 belts, right? And I'm going to see the move of Tim Tszyu. I'm going to see the move of Charlo and Canelo. This fight is happening September 30th. I'm going to be there. And if I have a chance, I'll come in that ring and tell them, if it's Charlo winning or Canelo, whoever wins. You got me next? You got me next? Yeah. Let's go old school like Muhammad Ali. Let's go old school like... You got to call these niggas out because I already see that PBC ain't going to give you nothing, bro. Unless you sign to them a 3-fight deal. But if you're on your way out, what are you signing for? If you're going to sign a 2-fight deal, fine. Canelo, 2-fight deal, and a rematch, fine. Whatever it is, man. But the way I see it right now, I'm seeing a lot of stupid, awkward moves going on. Because the first thing that took my attention when I watched the rankings was Errol Spence was 3rd on the rankings. How the fuck are you fucking 3rd on the fucking rankings at 154? Anyway, I'm out. It's just something to think about. While everybody's still talking about, I want to fight Boots. Crawford needs to do this. Crawford don't need to do none of that shit. He don't. Yes, Boots is ready. He got enough wins under his belt. He is ready. But this man just became undisputed, 3-time lineal, 18 title fights, 2-time undisputed. Yo, and you telling this man what he needs to do? No, it's what you want. Wake the fuck up, man. Okay? He's on top. Yo, I never see... This is so stupid. I'm on top of the motherfucker. You ever play Mortal Kombat? You ever fucking play Mortal Kombat? You on top of the motherfucker. What is it, Shogun? He's like this, right? Sitting in the chair, right? And I see all these other motherfuckers on one side of the hill, on the other side of the hill. They climbing up and they fucking elbow and kicking each other just to get to the top. But this generation's telling me this nigga gotta come off his fucking throne and come down and fight and leave his throne empty. His fucking seat empty. He gotta come down. No, it don't work that way. These niggas climbing their way up, they killing and they fucking each other up just to get to the top. And that's the way the fuck it's supposed to be, man. So I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. This nigga's on top right now. Tank, go up 2 divisions. Charlo's doing it. Go up some divisions, my nigga. No, you ain't gonna do it. But I thought it was about the face. Huh? I thought it was about the face of boxing. You know you could make money with Manny Pacquiao. You know you could make money with Terence Crawford. Why you ain't doing it? It's all about money. You know you gonna make the numbers. Right? Since you the face of boxing. Man, and you know Charlo. We'll see what happens with Charlo, and we're going to see what Canelo say. But I'm telling you, Crawford just put the pressure on because you're on top, and all you got to do is say, listen, man, I'm coming to the fight, and I'm watching the fight, and whoever wins, just like the same energy you had in the ring when you was fighting and fucking up Spence, and you was on those ropes talking to Charlo, you sit in that audience be like, yo, I don't want to enter the fucking ring. And I'm going to tell one of these niggas that win that I'm going to be the fucking one that's going to be next. And let's see who's going to half step. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, is what they're not saying. And let's move on and see what goes on with this Tim Tszyu. Because I'm watching Tim Tszyu. Let's see this Errol Spence in the rankings at 154. Because somebody got a brown envelope under the table. Let's see Charlo. And let's see what goes on with Canelo. Who's the winner and who's the duck Crawford? Who's going to duck Crawford? Or who's going to step up to the plate and do the do? And I hope that, like I said, if I was Crawford, I would take the Tim Tszyu fight. Or I'll take whoever's up there. Because I know Tim Tszyu might just duck that motherfucker to go over here to the WBC. Because I'm seeing, why the fuck you fucking a Reggie Belt and then you're going to lose the Reggie Belt to WBO and be automatically the champion of WBO. I thought if Charlo, if Charlo decides to drop the belt in the WBC and Mendoza got the belt, I could see, 2 unified. But I'm not even seeing that. I'm seeing a Reggie Belt and a champion. I can't right now. Somebody, like I said, somebody, let me know about the promotion company, the manager company that Spence had, and did they have a big, damn man, that was all fucked up. Did they have a big issue on this fight, or was it PBC? Because to me, it don't sound like PBC wasn't playing a part of this. I feel like it was Showtime, and maybe it was Errol Spence manager company. I'm not sure, man. Of course, PBC, Errol Spence is with the PBC, but for Errol Spence to get a manager company, and then things start to move on with this fight, I'm just not hearing a lot about that, and I'm just trying to understand. I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm wrong. Somebody clue me in on what that manager company had to do with Errol Spence and Crawford fighting, because it seemed like Al Heyman did not want this fight, and that management company had to do work with Showtime. Somebody just school me. All right, I'm out.